Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings for today, Monday, July 31st, 2023. And you're listening to WEFM 99.9, the clean first sound located at Old Fort, Lower Christal, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Everybody in the rest of the region, good morning to you. The rest of the world, good morning, including the ones that came down on the UFO. Apparently, they're aliens here on Earth. I don't know. So they say. Conspiracy theory, fact, who knows? We're enjoying life in the Caribbean in all this heat. It has been a very, very, very hot. What is it? July so far. And gosh, we still have August to go through. Oh, anyways, my name is Christal. In studio this morning is Dr. Jerrol Thompson, as usual, on a Monday morning, going up until 9:45 this morning. Say good morning. Morning, Doc.
Good morning, Christal.
All right,
good
come on.
morning to all the listeners and viewers this morning, Activated Morning. Yes, it is hot, but sadly, the heat is a little too hot in a number of places. But I like it. I like it a little toasty like this. You know what I mean? I like it a little toasty like this. But
You're really on your own with that one.
Great times. It's humid, and there's once you have a little bit of breeze, man, it feels good.
It feels good if you get breeze.
It's the tropics.
I know, but I don't remember complaining so much about the heat in the past.
Yes, yeah. Well, it is hot. We've been having some of the hottest days on record, I'm told.
Yeah, they did say that.
Some hottest days on record. But you know what? It's fluids, it's hydration, and all those other things. Let me just add that. And that should really keep. And a lot of people move around dehydrated, at least 5% dehydrated.
They don't even know it.
They don't even know it, but you can tell by their lips, in terms of how dry their lips might be. And that tells you and I tell you that happens, that has a lot to do with the function, where their body functions during the day. So folks drink cool, clear water. You don't have anything in it, and that will go a long way. Maybe pop a couple cubes of ice inside there if you could. Make it.
Let me go by the freezer and come back.
It'll go a long way. But I had a good weekend.
I feel like you said that because my lips dry.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You think over here and be like,
no, you think I would know? I don't know how far away. You think I would notice those things? I mean, I don't have a doctor. I don't have a doctor's hat on. So
you don't? You just put it on though. You just put it on.
No, I tell you the truth. Tell you the truth. As you walk around, you see a lot of stuff, and sometimes I wonder: does somebody know this, or has somebody picked up this? Have they seen somebody about that? But you can't go and stop somebody on a bus or stop somebody, along the road and say, hey, I've observed that so and so and so. You can't do that.
It's like offering them a Jesus pamphlet.
Yeah. But I tell you, on Saturday, I had a really great day. Saturday afternoon, I went down to Rose Hall. They had a jump up, a postponed jump up. Although a lot of rain came down, I mean,
a wet foot jump up?
It turned out to be a kind of wet foot jump up. But I had a pair of shorts in my car and a vest to go out and but I didn't do it. But the break I had, I ran out in the road from a shop I was sheltering, and I did a little 2-minute thing and then came back in. That was enough for me. You know what I mean? That was it. But people enjoyed themselves. People had fun. Wasn't the largest crowd, but people had some fun there.
That's good. That's good. So my weekend was not as exciting as yours. I had a very quiet weekend. I understand that in Calico there was a football opening. Okay. I did not go because if I see rain at a certain time of the night, I am not leaving my house. But I did have to do some sort of business. Just to let you know, are you going to the concert tomorrow?
I am going to the concert.
Yeah, you should. The lineup is
my God.
It's amazing.
This is, yes.
Shameless plug here, but tomorrow is gonna be a good show.
Yeah, Luciano, Bungie, You know, it's a host of things. Matter of fact, we should probably go through and express who's going to be on.
Who?
I mean, I know we're doing advertisements and so
No,
forth,
no, but I mean,
you know, but I mean, I think it's a great lineup, of course, between Skinny and Fireman and Kevin Little and the national drummers, and I think one of the steel orchestras is this Starlift or so.
Starlift, yes.
Starlift.
And they're having other
Um,
performances from the junior. Well, let me not let the cat out the bag or anything,
Right.
but it's a really good lineup. So, what is on their flyer? Jamil, Luciano, Talpree, Skinny Fabulous, Kevin Little, Fireman Hooper, Bomani, James P, Hans John, Beckett, Posa, JR, Just Bus, Grabber Finesse, Abuza, Alison Hines, Chanel McKenzie, Fire Empress, I Sasha, Kyoko Crookshank, Tishon, Ronnie Richardson, Prophet Benjamin, Kalik, and John King. And some
Yes.
of the regional artists are already on island,
Yes.
already did
Rehearsing and
their
so.
rehearsals
Yeah.
and what's not. I got to see a little bit of a clip on other people's WhatsApp
Okay.
status last night,
Yeah.
and I'm super excited about it.
No.
I know Vincent Jones are too.
Crystal, this is important.
Hmm.
On one hand, people look at it, why spend money on that? Or we've had some incidents of crime and so, gun violence. So therefore, there should be nothing like this. In other words, there shouldn't be no jump up in Rose Hall, right? Or there shouldn't be this concert. We should all hunker down and be in our house. You know, just like as you say, rain come out and so forth. So you stay at home. But I don't really believe that. I think that sometimes we have to show the criminals and so that life can and must go on. And they can't steal our joy. They can't come and, dampen everything, you know? And it's really unfortunate we've had those particular episodes, and we must acknowledge that and deal with that and have the different processes to deal with that. But the other aspects of life, CARICOM is really an important regional institution. We'll be critical of it, in many ways because of its performance, its function. Has it done well? Has it lived up to all these things? But it doesn't mean that we should dismiss it. And I've seen a few writings on that. Why are we dealing with CARICOM? Why are we doing that? And so forth. I think this is important because have you had an opportunity to visit any other islands, Christal? Have you been to Guyana? Have you been to the CARICOM Secretariat? Have you been to Antigua? Have you been to, I'm sure you've been to Barbados and Trinidad.
I've gone
Grenada.
to Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica.
But it's true, we don't know enough about these other islands, and they're so similar to ours, and
Very similar.
yeah, the similarities there. And so much of us are in some of those places.
Yeah.
A lot of incentions in Barbados, a lot of incensions in Trinidad, a lot of incensions in Guyana and Antigua. And so it's really important that we have a bond with other Caribbean islands. And if CARICOM is one of those means of having a bond, we should celebrate that.
But I mean, outside of CARICOM, the University of the West Indies encourages integration and networking of people of the different Caribbean islands. A lot of people attend UWI, whether it's open campus or physically in Trinidad, Barbados, or Jamaica. And some of them find lifelong partners. Some of them find friends for life.
Yeah.
And with even as far as businesses, they're able to network and share ideas and so on. So that forms a really big part.
Yeah.
Carnivals are another one. Another means by which Caribbean people integrate.
West Indies cricket.
Sure, West Indies cricket.
No, we gotta mention it. There'll be highs and lows. There may be prolonged lows, but still, it's one of our foremost institutions and shows that really we can integrate to a great degree.
I think we still have some way to go. I don't know if it's long or short, but I think we still have some way to go because of comments you see, I don't know why some Caribbean people like to do this. We have several Caribbean islands,
Yeah.
right? That make up the Caribbean. Very small compared to the rest of the world. Some Caribbean islands are further along in terms of their economy, in terms of their branding and marketing. And when I say branding and marketing, I know automatically people would go and think about Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad. You know, Trinidad is branded as the Mecca of Carnival. Barbados, are they still called Little England? I can't remember. And
Well, I don't know if that could be the case since they're no
since
longer
right.
a monarchy.
Okay, so not the no Little Barbados,
Yeah.
Big Barbados. And then you have Jamaica for reggae, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt, sports,
Yeah.
right? But you see from time to time on social media, because it's the means by which, because you can't literally see somebody from Barbados sitting in a porch. So you go on social media, you use your WhatsApp status, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, wherever, and you see people arguing about which Caribbean island is this and better, and you shouldn't go here, you should come here. And to me, it's pretty pointless because we all essentially pushing for the same, we have a common goal, right? We're small island developing states. We want to get to a certain position. We all offering sun, sand, and sea. Tourism, major income earner for the Caribbean islands. I think we can all get there together, but we just have to come together and realize that it's better together than separate. And this fight down between Caribbean islands, some people might say it's imaginary, but if you look on social media and you read some people's comments, it's not imaginary. It's a real thing. There's some folks who would not like a certain country just because. And sometimes these things are inherited from other people, which makes they make no sense. So Vince's, I know sometimes we are guilty of it, right?
Yes. You know,
Separate from the hate from other Caribbean islands, all the way at one. You might be related to them and you don't even know.
can, can I tell you, I had part of my growing up in England, and I was a Manchester United fan, but I lived very close to the Arsenal football stadium and used to be in the area of the Tottenham area quite often. And the hatred that existed, I would say the competitive spirit between the different fans of Arsenal and Tottenham and Chelsea is profound. You know, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're in the same country. And so in St. Vincent, you will find there were people who say Barley, Baga is the best place. Some say Chateau up there is the best place. Georgetown, Greg's, whatever, people, Beckwith, you know, Port Elizabeth, people will advocate for their own individual area. So I don't see anything wrong with persons saying Antigua is nice or this place is nice. But I totally agree with you that we take this so far that we become so critical and damning of an institution that is really not only promoting Caribbean identity, but also promoting trade and economic development. And so it pleases me when I know a product has come from another island that was not necessarily produced here in St. Vincent. And I'm proud of when I go to various places to see Vincentian fruit being featured as being the best in other islands like Barbados and Trinidad. You know, the Caribbean, it's 15 members, well, 20 members in CARICOM, but 15 members who are member states, are like a grouping that sways a lot of power that need to be courted for a lot of international decision. To see St. Vincent leading that in Europe in terms of CELAC, in terms of Latin America and the Caribbean, is really a profound thing. So I think it's all good. I'm going to be at the concert tomorrow, for sure.
Call come through. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, what's up?
I'm all for Caribbean unity with the culture and the products. And yes, I'm proud when I go to Grand Dance Grenada and I see Haroon Bear at the mall over there, Grand
Yes.
Dance Mall.
Yes.
Or I'm at Viewfort International Airport, and the restaurant, they have high room there. I'm proud of that. I'm in the Bronx, and I see Juicy being sold at one of the supermarkets in the Bronx.
Yes.
Some years ago, I heard someone was criticizing because Coates had an ad featuring tall pre out of Grenada. And they say, oh, they are tall pre advertising Coates. And I call into the program, I say it was petty because down in Trinidad, there's a very popular store named Francis Shoelacker. I've heard commercials, I heard skinny running commercials for them over the years. Problem Child, James P. And also in Trinidad, Blue Water in Trinidad, popular brand in Trinidad, Blue Water. When Zolo had a big hit in 2010, Water, she had a commercial for Blue Water in Trinidad. So it's petty. Couple years ago, there was Labor Day weekend. They had two Vinci promoters who were having an event. One had just with pro Vinci artists. Another one had Vinci and Grenadian artists. And the one with the pure Vinci artist was criticizing and saying, oh, we don't want a Grenadian in our thing.
What?
Pure Vinci. I don't like that stuff. I don't like that. I'm more of a Caribbean.
Gosh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those are just
he was rivaling the other promoter because he normally probably over the years would probably be the only promoter doing stuff on Labor Day weekend. Yeah. And now this other promoter doing his stuff, and he had some Vinci and Grenadian to his mix. And he's criticizing, because I guess the guy taking away some of his food. And he's saying, oh, we don't want to be Grenadian stuff, Grenadian in our thing, Petty stuff. Petty.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your contribution.
That's a good point. Good point.
I have a chain, local, regional, and then international after. Local first, and then regional. Mix up the thing and balance it out good.
Local, region, international.
Local, regional, and then international.
Well, you're right, and that's why I brought up. I don't know where you're from. You're from Villa. You're from.
I come from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, but here in St. Vincent,
I say East St. George.
East St. George. Here in St. Vincent, the Grenadines, there'll be a little competition between one village and another village. So that's ultra local.
Yeah. Yes, the kind of competition you should have is best village.
Yes,
competition.
Yeah.
Not more.
Those things used to be good. Those things used to be good, but I think
it could still be because the land is still there and people still selling flowers. Clean up a place.
You're right. I think there's some value.
Maybe one of those entities, utility companies could be like, let's do this. Yes. And feature them in the little almanac and thing. Calendar at the end of the year, they win out. And what's not. It used to be a thing. Come, bring it back. Yes. All right, it's 8:28. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we should be joined by Quartz St. Vincent Limited, Ready Cash, more specifically.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also combo 3, combo 8, and combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
That could have been you. An accident that could have been avoided because your tires had almost no grip on the road. Safety is a factor that should never be overlooked when it comes to your car or whatever you drive. SVG Tire Sales and Services in Falls Avenue and in Arnisvale carries a wide selection of quality new tires to fit any car, truck, minibus, or SUV, so you can experience a comfortable and safe commute every time. We are agents for the world's most reliable brands on and off the road, including Kenda Tires, the king of the mountain, Cooper Tires, king of the road and track, Osto, the king of the Outback, and High Fly, the king of the Asian Highway. We also carry new tires for light or heavy-duty trucks from MRF, High Fly, and Linglong. A reliable set of new tires keep you, your passengers, and your payload always in the safe lane. So when you need quality tires with reliability at 100%, choose SVG Tire Sales and Services in Kingstown, 457-1467, or in Arnesvale, 456-6444. SVG Tire Sales and Services. Performance and reliability proven when the rubber meets the road.
Win your AKT purchase for free from Quartz. For a limited time, get a chance to win your AKT purchase free. Plus, get a free AKT helmet and a $25 fuel voucher. No cash, no problem. Pay with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 30 days. We process your registration and insurance for free. What are you waiting for? Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to win your AKT motorcycle for free. For more information, visit www.shopquartz.com. This offer is available online and in store until September 30th or while supplies last. Terms and conditions apply. Quartz, marine value, home.
WEFM is SVG.
Welcome back. Welcome back. At this time, we await a live link up with Quartz Ready Cash. Should be in a minute now. But in the meantime, let me say good morning to all those folks who have checked in already. The WhatsApp number is 457-9994 and the number to call 457-9997. But you can't call now because you can't hold up the lines. And anyways, I wouldn't answer you. Okay? Because, you know how it is. All right. So we're talking about the show that's coming up tomorrow. And just like very briefly, but as we're talking about CARICOM, why not share the CARICOM member states while we're at it?
Yes. Well, you know, there are 20 CARICOM countries. 15 are member states and there are 5 associate states. Let me go through. We all know the different countries. Let's go through in alphabetical order. Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize. These are the 3 Bs. Then Dominica, Jamaica, and Grenada. Then Guyana, Haiti, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Suriname. That's the S's, the 3 S's. And Trinidad and Tobago. Then they have 5 associated states. And here what they say is the 5 associated states. L, that's EEL. Then Bermuda, Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands, and Turks and Caicos Island. Now I wonder if there's a misprint here. Because, to tell you the truth, I didn't see Anguilla. You know what I mean? Right? So what is this EEL? Can anybody tell me where is the island called EEL? Is there a misprint in the actually this is like coming through as a Spanish website. So there may be a translation.
Yeah, maybe the EEL is Anguilla.
Huh?
The EEL is Anguilla.
Where is EEL?
It doesn't exist. It's Anguilla.
Is Anguilla?
Anguilla. Maybe the translation did it. What? there's caricom.org, doc. So it says Anguilla, Bermuda, BVI, Cayman Islands, and Turks and Caicos Islands. Those are the
Yes.
associate
Associate
members.
States. All right.
Yeah, that's the
Well, depending on which
there.
website you pull up, you could get thrown a bit. I thought I knew the
Yeah.
5 associated states. I just say, well, this one I didn't know. Where's this island? Do you know? I know there's Islet off of Chateaubriand, you know, and Milligan's Key, and we have different. I was wondering if there's one of the Tobago Keys called EEL or something. So,
Isn't that you?
yes, but we're not having. So we're not having courts today. Yeah?
I'm not. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. Yeah. You know, you touched a little bit on crime, and you're saying that criminal activity, most recently the mass shooting. I cannot believe, never in my life I would have imagined. Every time you talk about mass shooting, you think about the United States of America, where they have like higher numbers than we will ever get to. Okay, but we had 5 in one night in July. And naturally, there are some people who would be apprehensive about going to places at certain times, and going out point blank and then going to certain places, right? But you said that those sort of things should not, they should prove to the criminals or show the criminals that they can't steal your joy. So they might be able to steal somebody's life here and there. They might be able to steal somebody's television, steal the car, whatever they want to steal money, phone, but they cannot steal your joy.
Yes, you know, I'll tell you, when you had episodes of drive-by shootings in LA and those, some of them there were events, promotional events. People bought tickets, there was food being sold, and so.
And that's Dave.
There must be codes, yeah?
No, Dave. Good morning, Dave. Okay, never mind. If I take the call, you have to acknowledge that I might be able to cut you. Might have to cut you to take courts. But let's go ahead. You were saying drive by.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And it was somebody who had a rival event, you know, who's losing business or wanted people to come to their event and arrange some negative activity in another location so that they would then have some better business. I mean, of course, not all drive-bys were for that reason, maybe targeting some specific individual. But it's amazing to what lengths persons may go to promote their business versus another business, you know? And sadly, in what used to be blockos in LA, that wasn't the name that they called it, but I want people to understand, you know, you may not want people to continue going to this popular location wanting to come to yours. So it does have an effect in some way, but we have to show people it doesn't.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Courts Ready Cash. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so tell us all about Courts Ready Cash. What do you have available for us?
Okay, so right now it's all about our 60-day to pay program. So you take cash loan of $3,000 or more, and you repay in 60 days. So you don't pay at the end of, you forget about payment. Well, if you come anytime between, this week, you'll forget about payment for the end of August, the end of September, and your payment will begin in October. And as well, we have our back to school loans. So for those that are trying to buy any school books or anything, there are lots of prizes to be won if you come in and take a cash loan with us for that. And all you would need is your 2 pieces of identification if you're a new customer, or 1 piece if you're a returning customer, proof of address in the form of a recent utility bill or bank statement, and proof of income in the form of a recent job letter and salary slip.
Nice, nice. So you still have the agricultural fund available. Tell us about that.
Yes, we do. So this is a US $20 million fund that's being spread across the OECS, and it's geared towards our farmers and fisher folk. And this is not just for farmers that go into the land. This is also for people that do agro processing, things like peanuts and the like. And you can borrow a maximum of up to $20,000. All you would need is your valid proof of identification. You must be aged between 21 and 55 years old. You must provide your proof of address in the form of a recent utility bill. You would need to serve as your proof of income, your present sales and purchases, anything that you're intending to purchase or what you have in mind, you would need to provide that as well. And you would just come in and speak to our microfinance officer, and you can start getting your loan process. And for more information about that loan, you can call 4333840.
Okay. So if I want to buy a couple of sheets of galvanized, that's possible. Anything at all I want to buy, Quartz Ready Finance could finance
Yes,
that.
please. Yes, please.
Hmm.
So you come in, and you can also come in and just take a regular personal loan. If you're just a regular business owner, we also have just regular small business loans. It would be the same requirements as I would have mentioned, your proof of identification, any present sales and purchases that you have that serves as your proof of income. You come in and again speak to our microfinance officer, and you can start getting, maybe you want an influx of cash in your business. You need to purchase some raw materials, a piece of equipment that you have your eye on. You come in and you just take a small business loan with court.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So let's talk about how we get in contact with you.
Okay, so you can contact us on telephone number 4561325, extensions 2120 through 2124. And if you want to visit us in person, we're located opposite the Kingston Post Office, and we're open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m.
Okay. And email address, website.
So you can go on to Ready Finance Caribbean in order to visit us online, or you can check out our social media pages on Facebook or Instagram, Ready Cash in Vincent, for more information on anything that I would have spoken about here today.
All right. Is there a maximum or minimum that for personal loans? How low can we go and how high can we go?
Okay, so for personal loans, the maximum is $20,000 and the minimum is $300. I just want to emphasize that you don't need to come in and take the whole 20. Maybe you just want 1,000, you just want a little 5 to tide you over. If you have something that you don't want to use your own cash to buy, you come in and you just take a small personal loan with us, and you get everything that you need to.
Yeah, that's so convenient. And it takes about how long? What's the longest?
Takes 24 hours to process. You get back an answer the next day. In some cases, you can even get back same day responses.
So you come to town first thing in the morning, you go to Quartz Ready Finance, you go have breakfast, maybe lunch, and then you come back and your money there.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Is there a way that, okay, so do you have connections with other business places? If I want to purchase like a sling of cement, so then we just come and say, okay, I want to buy this from X place, and you just make the arrangements and we just go and collect. Is that still a thing?
So in terms of that process, you would have to come in to discuss further with us, because we've done things previously where we would have, if for people that, for instance, want to purchase car parts and those things, you can come in and we can source that for you, and then you would just pay back the loan. So, but that's on a case-by-case basis. You'll have to come in and discuss further.
Okay. All right. No problem. Anything else you want to leave with us?
Well, just to recap, you come in here, you cash loan $3,000 or more, 60 days to repay. You need your recent job letter and salary slip, proof of identification, and proof of address in the form of a recent utility bill and bank statement. you can once again contact our microfinance officer at 493-3840.
All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, dear, and have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you for having me. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
No problem. Take care. And there you have it. Courts Ready Finance. They are ready when you are. Question is, are you ready? Time for a break, and we come right back right here on Activated Mornings for today, Monday.
Customer Appreciation Days continue at Quartz Optical. Join us from Monday 24th to Friday 28th July for BOGO. Buy one, get one free. That's right. Buy one pair and get a second pair of glasses absolutely free. It's a celebration. Shop with no cash and ask about our flexible credit terms from 3 to 24 months. These are our Customer Appreciation Days. Buy one, get one free. Free eye exams and free gifts with selected purchases. And it's only at Quartz Optical. Don't miss it. This is a limited time offer. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
At the end of 2023, My Smart Toilet Seat is giving away $50,000. To be eligible to win this cash, you must be a My Smart Toilet Seat customer. So visit our website today at justwashit.vc. Take a look at all our smart toilet seats online. Purchase the one you like and get it delivered to you on the same day. Or you can visit our store on Bay Street in the Blue Corner building opposite the old Anglican school. Make your purchase there and voila, you're a customer. Remember, prices are as low as $150 EC dollars. Now you're on your way to win $50,000.
For more information, visit our website at justwashit.vc or call us at 457-1703.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Join Bishop Ulrich on the Spiritual Baptist Boat Ride tomorrow on the 13th of August 2023 as we lift St. Vincent higher spiritually. Tickets are just $70. Food and drinks will be on sale. You can purchase your tickets at VJ's Restaurant in Kingstown, ask for Shania. Jack's Enterprise, ask for Massey. Josette at South Union, Misha at North Union, Miss Crease in Barley, Wanique in Rose Hall, Alva's Bar in Bayaboo, Motherlami in Coleshill, or call 530-1780 or 492-0060.
Boy, that's where you getting crushed enough. Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Ardersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
Get ready to savor the soul of the Caribbean at Victoria Park. Join us for the grand celebration of CARICOM's 50th anniversary this Tuesday, August 1st, Emancipation Day. Dive into a sea of rhythmic beats with Luciano. Jamil.
And every day I get up and feeling this year.
Allison Hines, Sasha, Prophet Benjamin, and more. From Jamaica to Barbados, Trinidad to Grenada, and SVG. We're celebrating the vibrant cultures of the Caribbean. Witness a spectacle of dance and drums telling captivating stories of our shared heritage. Enjoy the electrifying performances of Beckett, Skinny Fabulous, Kevin Little, James E.P., Hosa, Talpree, Fireman Hooper, and more.
The festivities kick off at 2 p.m. with free admission. Don't miss this extraordinary event showcasing the richness and unity of the Caribbean. See you at Victoria Park for the CARICOM 50th anniversary celebration. Let's celebrate the spirit of the Caribbean together.
99.9 WEFM.
All right, welcome back. 10 minutes on to 9 o'clock is the time. So we were talking about crime and criminals not stealing your joy, or they shouldn't. I mean, Doc, you know what I'm thinking? Realistically, that should be the case. I mean, not realistically. The perfect setup to prove a point, that should be the case, that they're not able to. But realistically, people become scared and fearful doing certain things, going to certain places.
I agree with you. Because it comes down to percentages. If you have the majority of persons this happens to, then whatever the motives, it's been successful. When just a few, and understandably a few, because a lot of us have different risk adverseness. Some of us are very risk adverse, as you said, a little rain comes, we ain't going out. A little too much sun, we ain't going out. So that there are different things that would affect certain persons. And between now and the rest of the year, there's going to be a lot of rain. But at the same time, I hope there isn't going to be a lot of crime. I think that this latter part of the year, I'm hoping there's less crime, and that isn't going to be an additional factor to have a higher percentage of people being scared, being afraid, and so forth. Although I don't know. We're looking to talk about some other things.
Oh yes.
About what's happening with youth. Okay, there's youth in relation to crime, but there's some positive. Take this call.
Yeah, let's do it quickly. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I can't let the good doctor, the great doctor, get away with this. If there was another mass shooting, what would be your conclusion? Do you think what is going on in the country these days is the best time we have ever had in this country?
Dave, you're talking about if it is the best time in relation to crime or best time in relation to sports, carnival, economy. Huh?
You think this is the best time we have ever had? You think this is the best economy? And yes, tell me what is our position economically speaking within the OECD? Are we number one, number two, number three, number four? Give me those vital statistics, and then you can convince me. Thank you.
Well,
thanks.
Dave is hoping that I did some study to have a paper. But tell you the truth, I don't want to go back to slavery and say this slavery was such a good time. There's a Governor Ron DeSantis who's trying to project that slaves benefited from slavery. There was colonialism, the colonial era. There was a time when we had associates say we weren't in charge of our foreign affairs and so forth. Were those the best times? Were those the very best time in the period just after independence where we're struggling to get our country up? Were those the best times of our lives? Come on. I think some of our best times are still ahead of us. Yes, Sam? We have a lot to look forward to. And that brings us in. I would answer Dave's question this way in the topic that we were going to talk about, to what's happening with youth. We have a young man, Anson Odo, who is now Adrian Odo, who's been appointed as he's a lawyer, as a director of reparation affairs. Coming out of that CELAC meeting in Europe, there was acknowledgement apologies, and so in relation to slavery and the need for reparations. It may not have gone as far as one expected, but you could see the momentum picking up. Mia Muckley is talking about it. Others are talking about it. And we're seeing this Adrian Odle, young lawyer, young individual, really coming to the fore. In terms of our youth, even though some of our youth have not been going down the straight and narrow, we are seeing a gentleman, Anson Latchman, who's going to be leading the Council of Youth and all kind of different subcommittees from agriculture all the way down to housing and culture and so forth. I think that's a very positive thing. I think that's a very positive thing. And then we're seeing the newly appointed Senator, Shaquille Bob, you know, who
She's not
may have
appointed
come
as
out
yet.
of being Miss SVG in...
She was a contestant.
She was a contestant. She came
I think
second
in-
in 2014, right?
Is it 2014?
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. But she's only 30 years old, you know? 2014. I mean, maybe everybody, I stand corrected. I may have my information wrong. Lady out in the Maricopa Valley and so. These are very positive. And then we more recently, Minerva Brown, who was a co-host of this program, you know, on a couple of days of the week, 33 years old. I know this young lady very well, you know, a town planner, you know, an individual who basically has a lot of the skills. Now heading the Ministry of Urban Development, Energy, Seaports, Grenadines Affairs and other things like that. I think these are a very positive thing. And then, you know, the other young lady who's now Minister of Foreign Affairs. Yeah, she's done exceptionally well. The things that are happening, you know, I see a lot of young people really. So Dave, I would like to take the debate that even though you may want to focus on the glass being half empty, that old adage, the glass being half empty, I want to look at how we are filling the glass, how new young individuals are coming to the fore. I think that's good. I think that's really, really, really good that that's happening. I want to applaud that.
All right. Oh, that was for Dave. That was for Dave.
That wasn't just for Dave, you know. That wasn't for Dave. But I mean, you know, some person might call it, you didn't answer Dave's question. You didn't come out with a 10-point plan. But I'm just a simple radio host. I haven't done a study of all these issues to come up with which year in our history was the best year ever. And that was the peak. And from here on, and it's downhill. No, far from it. I remember when there wasn't any, well, I'm told, I can't remember, when the first hydroelectric plant went into South Rivers and Richmond, those places, provide electricity to those places. They didn't have electricity. You know, electricity came in about the 1930s to a small sector of Kingstown. So we got to look at what really we achieve. And then when you start seeing...
Some of them still don't have electricity, and some of them are now without electricity.
Yeah, exactly. You know, exactly.
2%.
Yes. Well, you know, that's a big debate in itself. How do you keep the electricity running? And how do you ensure people are able to pay their bills? That's a real balance. One is a function, again, of the economy and monies and so on. And then another thing is the Vinglet company really has to run. But then there's a fuel surcharge, the international impact. When the fuel prices go up, how do we deal with it? Do we subsidize the oil? Do we buy the diesel on discount? Do we owe this year? You know,
Alternative.
When we had the Petrocarib situation, we used to get a fairly nice deal there. But sanctions with Venezuela and so forth has put a little stop to that, and certainly prices are a lot more elevated now. But
Alternative forms of
I,
energy.
I think the point I want to make is that there are some positive things taking place, Christal. Young people like yourself hosting shows. Matter of fact, are you part of the hosting thing tomorrow? Are you involved in that? No, you're not involved in that. Okay.
I'm gonna be at Victoria Park tomorrow.
You bet I'm gonna be there.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm going, enjoying myself.
I'm gonna be there
in my
too.
freedom.
I'm gonna be there too.
Well,
I'm gonna be there too.
Whatever freedom I have.
Yes.
Because
I'm
gonna leave that right there.
And I want to say there are these positive young individuals, outstanding individuals who are taking up the mantle of government, and that's why I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about later. And I want persons who will call in, to comment on those issues.
Okay, so coming up next, it's 9 o'clock, 9:01, a few seconds. The Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines brings to us at this time the ECCB bank rates.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. The bank we count on, BOSVG. Our one bank together, we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, sing it loud. BOSVG. Hey, building our future. BOSVG. Doing more together.
OSBG, doing more together.
Good morning. Welcome to the ECCB bank rates for today, Monday, the 31st day of July, 2023. Brought to you compliments the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The following are today's indicative rates in Eastern Caribbean dollars for key international and regional currencies. These rates will not apply to commercial banks' transactions with the public. We start things off with the Barbados dollar, 1.35. Then the Canadian dollar, 2.03997. Swiss franc, 3.10220. Euro, 2.97824. Pound sterling, 3.47045. United States dollar, 2.70. And finally, the Guyana dollar, 0.01303. There you have it, the ECCB bank rates for today. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks to the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for sponsoring.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase, starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG. Our one bank together, we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, sing it loud. BOSVG. Hey, building our future. BOSVG. Doing more together.
OSBG, doing more together.
Are you tired of being tired? Fighting the battle of the bulge? Take a breath of fresh air and embrace a new lease on life. Oxygen Fitness Center is here, located in the Camden Park Industrial Estate in the Green Building, next door to the government printery. Our range of fitness equipment and programs were carefully selected to meet your needs. Take a leap of faith today. Oxygen Fitness Center has the answers to your fitness needs. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or call us at 457-8333.
The SVG Maritime Administration is hosting its third annual essay competition in commemoration of World Maritime Day to be celebrated on September 28, 2023. All Vincentian nationals and residents between the age of 9 to 25 years are invited to participate. The theme is Marpol at 50, Our Commitment Goes On. Marpol is an international convention for the prevention of pollution from ships aimed at preventing pollution of the marine environment by ships. There are 3 categories. Ages 9 to 12, topic, Imagine you're a marine animal. How would pollution affect your life and what can we do to help protect you? 700 to 800 words. Ages 13 to 16, topic, how has Marpol helped to reduce pollution in our oceans and what more can we do to protect our marine life? 1500 to 2000 words. And ages 17 to 25, topic, reflect on the 50th anniversary of Marpol. What progress has been made in protecting our oceans and what challenges remain? 2000 to 2500 words. The deadline for submission is September 12, 2023 at 10 p.m. All submissions must be made via email to wmdessay.svgmarad@gmail.com. Prizes include a laptop, tablets, and cash prizes. The school with the most participants will be awarded a cash prize. Further information, along with the rules of the competition, could be found in the local newspapers.
Get ready to savor the soul of the Caribbean at Victoria Park. Join us for the grand celebration of CARICOM's 50th anniversary this Tuesday, August 1st, Emancipation Day. Dive into a sea of rhythmic beats with Luciano. Jamil.
And every day I get up and feeling the same.
Allison Hines, Ice Sasha, Prophet Benjamin, and more. From Jamaica to Barbados, Trinidad to Grenada, and SVG. We're celebrating the vibrant cultures of the Caribbean. Witness a spectacle of dance and drums telling captivating stories of our shared heritage. Enjoy the electrifying performances of Beckett, Skinny Fabulous, Kevin Little, James E.P., Hosa, Talpree, Fireman Hooper, and more. The festivities kick off at 2 p.m. with free admission. Don't miss this extraordinary event showcasing the richness and unity of the Caribbean. See you at Victoria Park for the CARICOM 50th anniversary celebration. Let's celebrate the spirit of the Caribbean together.
WEFM 99.9.
All right, so the appointments to come. All right, welcome back to Activated Mornings. So we spoke about Miss Shaquille Bob. We spoke about the other 2 names really quickly.
Well, we mentioned Beneva Brown, of course.
Beneva Brown was 4. Anson Latchman and Adrian Oddle. Now, I'm reading from One News St. Vincent. 3 young people will take up important positions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines' government. Our government, at a press conference last week, Friday, Cabinet Room, PM Gonsalves announced that a new young senator will be appointed, a new young chairman of the National Reparations Committee, and a new young chairman of a new Prime Ministerial Advisory Council. So this one is new.
Youth. Yeah.
Right. So the new senator, 30-year Shaquille Bob, you mentioned from Marikwa, and she's going to replace Mr. Rashad Bala, who will demit office by the end of August. So he is going to take up Director of Communications in the Prime Minister's office, a post that says was previously held by Mr. Elson Crick. Okay, well, that's interesting. I think the move was rather interesting. From a senator to a director of communications.
Yeah.
You would kind of think that if anybody's to move, it's going to move in the opposite way from director to senator. But anyways, don't know what's going on behind there.
No, but I'll correct you on that when you're finished. Go ahead.
All right. And then Mr. Anson Latchman, he's just 27. I don't think you mentioned the ages.
Yeah.
Well, let's mention the age because they're young people. 27, a budget analyst.
Yeah.
a national cricketer and a former national scholar. Brilliant people. Chairman of the newly cabinet-sanctioned Prime Ministerial Advisory Council on Youth.
On youth.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
Because then people have a lot of ideas. They have a lot to say. Anyways.
But it's to understand that's the structure of that fairly large advisory committee on youth and its
many members
and its subdivisions, its subcommittees. Yes, and sometimes
it's like a new government.
Well, put this way, it's not a new government, it's a grooming process in terms of advisory processes. A lot of the advisors, I'm not sure if they are being paid as a board and all that kind of thing. I'm not sure that component.
So it's just people who are already doing the work given
No. How I'm saying, I'm not sure when you say it's big. I'm not sure if the people, they're going to have subcommittees on agriculture, culture, sports, education, health. It isn't necessarily that the person who's going to be on the IT committees is going to be at the same people on health. They will have slightly different people on health.
No, but you said the people who are advising already.
No. I mean, you misunderstood. I'm saying it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be paid. So therefore, it's a large, expensive board and so forth. But I think that people are going to be asked to contribute in terms of an advisory capacity. But I don't have the information on how, if there's any compensation and so forth. I was addressing what you slipped by as being large,
It says 20-member committee will be named at the launch of the committee in late August.
But it's going to be more persons because of the subcommittees. That's the point being made.
So it's pretty large.
Yes. It's going to be even larger than 20. That's it.
Right. So it's pretty large. Yeah. And I think that you said you don't think that there'll be any compensation.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. There may well be.
There has to be. I mean, to advise an entire committee that is advising the prime minister or the country.
I'm not talking about that level, but I'm talking.
No, but that's what it says here.
Here I'm saying, I'm talking about in terms of the subcommittees, right? In terms of the various subcommittees. But let's say I don't have the information, and let me stand back on that.
Okay. All right. The committee will attract heads from across several sectors, will advise on matters relating to the government policy in relation to youth. It is geared for persons up to the age of 35. The third announcement was that of Mr. Adrian Arnold, a lawyer and a lecturer. He will head the National Reparations Committee, soon to be upgraded to the National Reparations Commission. And he is just 28. And the committee was started in 2013 to lead the government's efforts and the region's efforts towards securing reparatory justice for the Atlantic slave trade, slavery, and native genocide. I think of the three, to me, is one of the biggest ones, is the biggest one with the most responsibility. Reparations. It's something that's been talked about for quite some time, not just the other day. But there are Vincentians who have been talking about reparations since ever. Congratulations to all the young people. I like to see young people get opportunities. I also like to see young people use the opportunities to the best of their ability and not waste it. All right. Even if it's an opportunity where there's something in it that you're not very comfortable with doing, or you are not 100% prepared and ready for it, but at least in that position, make yourself ready and do the best that you can and not waste the opportunity and then have to be fired.
What I want to pick up on is an aspect of gender in terms of a correction of something that for several decades we've been seeing, where there was like one token female in Parliament, time of Mammy Ivy Joshua, I think she was one of the first, but certainly a lone soldier as a female. Later on, we had several other persons, and more recently, a decade or so ago, Renee Batiste and so. But I think that we are now seeing the emergence of a lot of young female, not just Christal, you know, but to see Minerva, see Shakel. More recently, you had an individual coming forward as a potential candidate in the North Windward area, you know, highly trained, and so certainly hasn't been appointed to Parliament in any way as senator or so. But I think
That's
that
Walters?
Miss Walters, yes. I think that certainly shows a major shift for the inclusion of women, especially young women, in that skilled, intelligent women in the whole process of governance. And I think it's a good thing.
It is always a good thing. You know how I feel about women's issues. I don't think that I'm always biased with women's issues, but I mean, could we have had more women in politics, let's say? Could we have had more women in leadership? And I mean, is the space conducive? So there are some women now, but is the space conducive to having more women come on board and join? And I'm going to extend the question further. By the way, it's 9:15. We should be joined by a special guest at this time, and I'm not seeing them come onto the stream yet as yet, so we'll just continue.
Okay.
Right? Are we making the environment conducive? Well, no, yes. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do.
Your special guest is on.
Yes. So we're gonna run one or two ads, prepare ourselves, and then time really does fly, and then we will invite the special guest for this morning. All right, so let's take a quick break and come right back.
Who is this?
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands, providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack, Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Right off the Leeward Highway on the Old Bookama Road is where you would find Pinchers Transport and Blocks and Hardware, a one-stop shop for all your building and construction needs, from foundation to roof. They offer building materials, sand, Rabica, cement, and stone, 4, 6, and 8-inch blocks, backhoe rental and trucking service. Their hardware section offers electrical and plumbing fittings, carpentry and farming tools and materials, automotive and repair, home care cleaning and DIY repairs, all under one roof. Call 458-7591 or 533-1576. Visit Mondays to Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pinchers Transport Blocks and Hardware, where quality meets price. No project too small. Here to serve you.
Get ready to savor the soul of the Caribbean at Victoria Park. Join us for the grand celebration of CARICOM's 50th anniversary this Tuesday, August 1st, Emancipation Day. Dive into a sea of rhythmic beats with Luciano. Jamil.
And every day I get up and feeling this year.
Allison Hines, Sasha, Prophet Benjamin, and more. From Jamaica to Barbados, Trinidad to Grenada, and SVG. We're celebrating the vibrant cultures of the Caribbean. Witness a spectacle of dance and drums telling captivating stories of our shared heritage. Enjoy the electrifying performances of Beckett, Skinny Fabulous, Kevin Little, James E.P., Hosa, Talpree, Fireman Hooper, and more. The festivities kick off at 2 p.m. with free admission. Don't miss this extraordinary event showcasing the richness and unity of the you at Victoria Park. for the CARICOM 50th anniversary celebration. Let's celebrate the spirit of the Caribbean together.
WEFM, now on the World Wide Web. Log on to SVG's first online radio station, www.999wefm.com.
Good morning and welcome back to Activated Mornings. In studio this morning, virtually, we have Mr. Clint. Well, the name that I was given was Clint Rose. I'm seeing that you have it as Clintel Rose.
Same difference.
Same difference. Same difference. I have not heard that term in a very long time. He's from the Wickham SDA Community Church, and he's representing the National Council of SVJ in the UK, and they'll be hosting a church service tomorrow. So, of course, he's here to tell us all about that and to tell us how we can take part and join via live stream. Good morning and welcome. How are you?
Thanks for having me from a rainy, overcast Britain. So, no difference there compared to sunny St. Vincent, I suppose. Yeah, the purpose of this interview is to promote Emancipation Day and spreading the awareness. And we had an interview yesterday, and one of the things we picked up was emancipation among the younger generation, if we are not careful, might be lost. And I just heard you plug that ad for an event in the park tomorrow in St. Vincent. And that's the sort of scale we want to take into emancipation program here in the UK. But as regards the program for tomorrow, it's a church service held in the Seventh Adventist Church, and it's quite comprehensive. We have opening prayers, we have presentations from Rene Baptiste, Honorable Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, Gary Funas, presentations from Senior Lewis, High Commissioner with Grenadines. We have a series of performances that would make people understand emancipation is not just a thing. From emancipation, here's where we are today. It's a lot of politics involved, a lot of emotions involved. So commemorating emancipation is significant in terms of what it meant for people, Black people in particular. Without emancipation, most likely we're still cutting canes today, unfortunately. So we have come a long way, and it's in that context we are seeing the need to celebrate emancipation. And maybe in the future, we can collaborate with other nations, Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, and make it something big in the UK. That's something we'd like to do eventually, because, like I said, from emancipation, we came to colonization, we came to separation, we came to apartheid, and the ultimate end would be reparations. So from emancipation to reparations. So these are sort of concepts we want to push in the future. But for now, let's focus on the program for tomorrow, and we hope that people tune in, and we hope can do some justice to the essence of emancipation.
Okay, so you mentioned speeches from the Honorable Prime Minister of SVG and Rene Baptiste. Are you going to have any other events at that church service? Not events, sorry. Any other?
We have performance from the Gary Funa. So that in itself is significant, because we're talking about a cultural people who have been marginalized for a very long time. So that is significant in terms of what needs to happen. We have something from Rene Baptiste. So that is also very significant, a very important woman. So we have tried our best to incorporate as much information from significant people as possible. So that, I mean, it's only an hour, it's about 90 minutes program. We wish we had more time to do more. So with that condensed program, I think we had done a great deal of justice to the time that we had allocated to us to make sure the program is succinct, educational, informative, and also entertaining.
Okay, is this the first time you're doing something like this?
Yes, this concept been mentioned by the High Commissioner sometime before, but it's the first time we really sat down and really put our heads together and make it happen. It's been talked about before, but we're making it happen this time. And we hope this is not the last time it's going to happen, because, like I said, emancipation is significant in terms of our history, our ancestry. And like I said, moving forward, reparation is the ultimate outcome. from emancipation.
So Rose, just to
Yes,
get
Chief.
a couple of graphics sorted out properly. This is Dr. Jerrol Thompson. How are you?
I can see you. I'm
Now,
good.
it's at 7:30 p.m. British Standard Time. That means it's going to be at 2 p.m. Vincentian time, or time in the Eastern Caribbean. There's a big show tomorrow evening starting at 5. There's going to be an early event. So this event is going to start before the celebrations take place in St. Vincent. And so everything could fit in. In other words, if it starts at 2 p.m. Our time, then by 4, I could slip down to the park to see the kids' exhibition and so forth, and like that. And then at 6, 7 o'clock, I could go and deal with the bigger event, the big concert in the night. This is well planned. I like the way you all have done this, you know?
Coordination is the key. Coordination is the key.
Yeah.
We had to do this because we know the event in the park is massive and we can't operate on that scale. So in one day, you're going to have 2 events, but we're going to settle for what we have in the UK. So, and I'm pleased that you guys are doing something as massive as that in St. Vincent. I know Barbados is also planning something. And like I said, Jerrol, we need to promote this throughout the Caribbean because emancipation is emotional.
Yeah. Could I say something further? I grew up, I went to England when I was about 3.5 years old. And I grew up in England, went to primary school in the first part of my secondary school before coming back to St. Vincent. And I remember learning about 1066 and the Battle of Hastings.
Precisely.
And learning about I never heard anything about emancipation. It was only at Vincentian functions in High Wycombe, at Pickett's Lock, and other things like that, that I started to interact with other Vincentians or other West Indians of note. But I'll tell you something, on coming back to St. Vincent, my father started telling me about those episodes of emancipation. And I want to say that any message that could be passed on to our young people, in England especially, because as we go in the battle for reparations, we will need your support. Writing to your MPs and your kids, writing to the MPs, talking about that this is important for them, their culture, their history, and I'm hoping that this starts off. I never had it when I lived in England, and so I'm glad to see you started up this process, sir. You know, please, I give you all the credit and applause that I could give in this regard.
Jerrol, this is just the beginning because, like I said, emancipation is emotional. Like I said before, from emancipation, colonialism, separation, apartheid, and the ultimate stage is reparation. So, and we must really be thankful to our Prime Minister for making this a living entity in our hearts. Mm. This is the man who I've interviewed him on TV myself personally, and one of the things that we mentioned was reparation. And he's very big on the issue, along with Dr. Hilary Beckles, of course, Mia Motley. So you have to tribute to these people in keeping the reparations concept alive. But out of emancipation would come reparations. So we have to look at it in that context. And yes, Jerrol, we spoke yesterday on another interview about how we're going to pass this information on to the youths. The youth today are entangled in technology and AI and ZI and PI, and they ain't gonna time with emancipation. So we have to find a way technologically to reach the youths to let them know emancipation is part of their history, their ancestry. And like I said, without emancipation, we've been cutting kin to this still. So yeah, we have to pass the message on. And this medium is one of many we're gonna use to do that.
I know, Christal, if you allow me and so forth.
Go ahead.
I was in England last September, and 2 things happened of note. I went down to Canary Wharf to the National Slavery Exhibition and Museum they have down in Canary Wharf.
Interesting.
It was profound, a whole floor on slavery. And I don't think enough individuals, even in England, know about it. And then there was an event at the High Commission in which the Garifuna from a number of different countries, Honduras, Guatemala, had come, and Belize, of course, had come across. And they did their drumming and their celebration, and it almost brought tears to my eyes.
I saw you there. I saw you there, yeah.
Yes. And I got it up to say a few words, as you recall. But I am still looking forward, and I hope it happens, as was presented there, of Chatterier's ladle. Chatterier's ladle. And everybody should know that they have found, and they've got in their possession, or in England, Chatterier's ladle. And it's supposed to be repatriated to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It was supposed to have been done as far back as March. We're now going through Emancipation Day. I am hoping that this will eventually occur, that this relic of our national hero, Chatelier, as we celebrate Emancipation Day and so forth, which is a different concept in terms of emancipation from slavery and our National Heroes Day, which is early in the year. But I am looking forward to seeing this. And I think that I'm hoping that our young people, and there were a number of young persons there, will be able to come and see the Garifuna perform, as well as to hear the messages that will come from your speakers.
Sure. I want to ask a question, Joe. When I was growing up, I was told, I don't know how reliable is this source, that the individual who actually assassinated Joseph Chatelier is buried in the Anglican Church in Kingston. Is that something been validated in any way? I grew up hearing that in among circles.
Well, I tell you, sir, I don't know. What I do know is
and I got it
that
from good sources.
Apparently Lieutenant Lee, a correction I want to make, Lieutenant Lee died shortly after the battle because of the wounds that Chatelier had inflicted on him. So in other words, he died within a matter of days of the wounds that Chatelier had inflicted on him, even though Chatelier would have died himself. Call it assassination, call it what may. I will check that out and find out if that is the case. I'm pretty sure they would not have had means to have put his body in a body bag and put it on the ice and carry it back to England. I'm sure that could not take place in those days. So I'll check it out, and I'm sure other people will check it out, and we'll certainly find out and be able to pass that information.
That's significant in the historical context.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because I do recall at some point somebody going into the church to check for themselves. So they posted a photograph on social media. But growing up,
how long ago this happened? How long ago the person did this?
I think it was last year,
So it's true, is it? Yeah.
or a year before. Growing up in the Anglican church, that's what I was always told.
Oh, you found? Oh, right, you heard that too.
This
is something I grew up hearing in my
George's
household.
Cathedral. Yeah, I always assumed that it was on the left-hand side of the church. So I'll tell you, when I'm walking up on that side, maybe coming down from communion back a few years ago,
I heard it's right in the middle.
I know
as you walk
that
into the center of the
there's
church.
writing. There's writing on the ground. So I would normally walk around it, because after that, I'm like, I ain't walking on no dead person. But looking at the photograph, I may have had my geography wrong, so it might be a different location. But I can still double check.
We'll check it out.
But as far as I know,
That need to be checked out, because from a historical context, that is significant. That is
significant in terms of wanting to do something about it, or significant in
yes,
terms of
because
not.
the British celebrate the heroes and the sheroes. I mean, that guy should be exhumed and sent back to Britain and a body bag.
Well,
that is, I feel like that's as much as people might want it. It's not.
Probably not.
Church is a historic site.
Yes.
And,
I know.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna touch that. The only touching is refurbishing it right about now, because it needs a bit of repairs.
I could see that too.
So the
That's
event
a blind
tomorrow.
suggestion. Don't take that for it. It's a blind suggestion. Just forget it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. People feel that way though. People feel that way, honestly. So tomorrow, your church service is starting at 2. It's about 90 minutes long. But how do we get access? How do we join?
Well, various, I know VC3 is B Minute. Some stations in Canada is B Minute. I think NBC is B Minute as well. That need to be double checked. But it's been streamed around the world on different platforms. So we are grateful for those who have picked it up and want to stream it live. So it's a significant thing in our development in St. Vincent or Vincentian context, talking of Vincentian context in High Wycombe, where most of the Vincentians live, based here. Significant that we have that event here, but eventually as the program grow, we have to find someplace bigger, because like I said, next year I'm moving on, we want to ask other nations to join us, so it become a Caribbean or oneness thing, not a nationalistic view. We want other nations to join in and feel like the Black Lives Matter movement. It became a big thing. It started from small, but we have to make emancipation a global entity. People have to know why it happened, and it wasn't because of the benevolence of the American president. It was obtained through blood, sweat, and tears, rebellions, and fighting and resistance. And the slaves make it economically impossible for it to continue. So on that basis, emancipation took place. Not because the slave masters were very kind and sorry for you. So no, it was hard-fought graft. Plantations were burned, people rebelled, and so a lot of stuff took place for emancipation to come about. It didn't come about because of the kindness of the slave masters. They make it uneconomical to continue. Here we are today. It's a long journey, and we have to celebrate this. It's a significant part in our Caribbean context, African context. So in the program, we're gonna have a minute silence of our fallen heroes. So that is significant in a sense, because many men have contributed to our development, politically, economic, and otherwise. So it's very significant, a very significant program tomorrow. For me, very emotional, because I see emancipation as the pivotal point in changing. And talking about slavery in this context, today people suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome, something a lot of people probably never heard about. And if we don't address these syndromes, it continues to plague us in different ways. We have inferiority complexes. We have all sort of different problems. We talk about how Dr. Rebecca was talking about the health problem for certain Black people, hypertension and stuff. It's because of the sort that we incurred during slavery. So we have to pay attention to emancipation on a holistic level. It's a very significant thing. We need to really make this thing global. We got to start somewhere, and this is part of the process. This is our contribution to that.
Some people say that within certain families or maybe Caribbean countries, that people suffer from generational curses, but it's just merely generational patterns passed down from generation to generation.
Intergenerational trauma. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
right,
that's what it's
right.
called.
It's just passed down because the folks who are receiving it don't quite understand it. And it takes a bit of work for somebody's eyes to be open, and somebody to take the initiative to say, okay, this generational pattern that started because of slavery has to stop, and it has to end with me. And I can tell you it takes a lot of work for that individual, because he or she is fighting against family who don't know anything. I don't want to say who don't know better, but who are not seeing what that person is seeing and understanding. It's a lot of work, and it starts with the individual. So
Yeah, it's
all
called
the very best.
intergenerational trauma. And I'm a therapist myself, and one of the things I advocate is how you overcome post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is linked into intergenerational trauma. Very significant, very significant, very, very significant. A lot of people don't know they have it. Because if you talk about the Gulf War recently, people are talking about post-traumatic Gulf War syndrome. We've been in the plantation for nearly 500 years. It's inevitable. Syndromes have to develop from that process. Inevitable. And
Well,
if you don't
it's
know
also
about-
important. It's also
Go ahead.
important too that in that post-slavery period, there was that whole colonial era that went through for almost 100 years before we had universal adult suffrage, before independence and so forth. It's only been, as a young nation, we could say we are still relatively young. But if you could look at other nations around the world that have gone through similar type of trauma over hundreds or thousands of years, they have that same sort of syndrome. But I'm making the point that slavery may have ended as a thing, but there was this post-colonial era where there was not much significant changes in terms of people's economic lives, people's ability to move ahead, and it's a lot more recent than we think.
What did Bob Marley say? To emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Yeah.
None but ourselves can free our minds.
Because you're touching a point about
all right.
Some countries had to fight physically for the independence, fight physical battles, war to obtain the independence. So it's not independence is something we're going to take easy. It's a very significant step in our existence. Very significant.
And I tell you, you speak of Haiti and so forth at this time, and the crisis that's going on there. You're seeing Kenya offering to be the leader of a multinational set of troops and guards and so forth going to Haiti to help out in that sort of circumstances. But it's really sad.
But having said, a lot of people don't know the historical context of which Haiti found itself in. Haiti, broke away and became independent before anybody talk about independence, and they suffer as a consequence. And a lot of people don't know what Haiti has brought in terms of liberation to Black people in the Caribbean and worldwide. So we have to pay tribute to the Haitians for making that step and making it bold and putting in the minds of Black people, this can happen. We have to bring an end to this nonsense. So yeah, to St. Louverture must be commended in the context of liberating. So yeah, it's a long journey. It is a long journey, but we'll get there eventually.
Maybe not in our lifetime.
Good
but
luck with
some
everything.
point.
Congratulations and
thanks for your support. Thanks for your and I hope events in the park don't get rained out, please. And
I feel like whether rain or not,
even if it rains, still gonna be there.
Umbrellas were created for a reason.
I wish you guys all the best and a lot of success, and let's make it bigger and better. And hope next time we can rep a delegation from the UK coming down to say a few words in that event. Much appreciated.
Of course. Thank you so much, Mr. Rose, and have a wonderful day. All the very best tomorrow.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, take care.
All right, you take care. Thank you. All right, and we've got just about 4 or 5 minutes left, so it's time to wrap up.
It is. Imagine, who would have thought 20, 30 years ago we would be talking about seeing reparations and those sort of things really come to fruition, having discussions with European nations about it. Certainly nothing has been set in concrete, but I think we're getting closer and closer to addressing this issue. And I'm hoping, certainly in my lifetime, or in not the lifetime, within the next decade, we'll be seeing something very positive happening as a result.
Most definitely, hopefully. But like I mentioned, from Bob Marley's song, "Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery." If you look at the words of that song, none but ourselves can free our minds. So it really does start with us, and it just takes us waking up. But waking up comes with a bit of influence from the outside too. And I don't know what it's gonna take for people to wake up and realize that, hey, we deserve a lot more. And we deserve better in some cases.
Christal, a number of historians, local historians, have been writing. And I think they've got their first publication lined up on that period leading up to the end of slavery. They still have to do more writing in the post-slavery era. But I'm looking forward to seeing that book. I think it's going to be very revealing. It's going to tell us a lot that we probably didn't know before. And it's hard getting that information, very hard getting information. But I think our historians and so can probably dig deep in trying to find out that historical knowledge and passing it on to us.
Yes. Another song I want to leave you with before we wrap up. I want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning. Join us again on Wednesday morning because tomorrow is a holiday.
Yes.
Holiday. And of course, a big event is happening at Victoria Park starting at 2 p.m. Let me tell you something. You want to be there from 2 p.m. until it ends. Never mind it's starting out with it's a one family concert. Never mind it's starting with the little family events for children and what's not. You might have to bring them early and then take them back home and what's not. Make sure they're in proper care and so on and so forth. But you don't want to miss a single minute of that entire show. I'm going to leave it at that. Doc, have a wonderful day.
My pleasure.
See you tomorrow. Maybe the crowd going to be so big I wouldn't be able to spot you.
You won't spot me. I'm going to find a little quiet corner and enjoy the show.
Yes. Have a wonderful holiday tomorrow. Make sure you be safe as much as possible because we want to connect with you again on Wednesday morning. And with that, to wrap things up, as usual, if you suspect something, you see something, open your mouth and say something. Look out for those who cannot look out for themselves. I'm speaking about the vulnerable folks in our society because they really do need us. And of course, as usual, start each day right, continue each day right, and end each day right with an attitude of gratitude. Find something to be thankful for and say thank you. And you'll find with time, once you're consistent and you're present in the moment, things will begin to change for you. My name is Christal, signing out officially for today. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Coming up next, because we have gone over time, it's going to be a difficult squeeze for Community Deadline for today. But coming up at 9:55 is WEFM's News and Brief that's brought to you compliments Edmund Delanes and Sons Limited.
Where there's a will, there's a way. The only way that may seem it right unto you dismay. We were born to be free, but survive such rough history. Yet life still goes on in the battlefield. Our existence is a mystery. Coming through from the start, they learn how to beat me. Coming through from the start, they know we were strong. But I know enough is enough, cause I can't be tougher than tough. We could make every single dream come true. We gotta do what we gotta do. We got to fight on, get up, stop complaints. It's a universal pain. From sunrise to sunset every day is a living strain. Fight fight on. Never mind the sweat. You got to sweat to get. Every good seed you sow brings a fruit wherever you plant it. Perseverance and strength go together. Triumph in all its ways, follow after. Signs reveal it's a shortened span, and time wasting is a crime. We must move in retaliation this time, and clean up racial oppression this time. Make way for the upcoming generation this time. Where there's a star, there's a light. We got to shine, it's me who have to make things go right. Don't sit and wait on a hand. Sometimes that hand must push you down. To achieve your goals, you must go for it every monarch. Where's his own ground? Conquer every obstacle you encounter. Many will be waiting to see you fall. But if you have to find something new, you must follow every clue. So at the end of the road, when you find your treasure, prosperity you want to. We got to fight on and take full command of our future plan. Who can crack on, we back won't take we out this situation. Fight on, every family. Take it seriously. It is there we create and devise the path of our journey. Determination and vision goes together. All your aspirations follow after. Signs reveal it's a shortened span, and time wasting is a crime. We must make the right turn this time and implement what we learn this time. So every man and woman can earn this time. Where there's no vision, the people perish. Where there is no love, we're left in despair. You're at war against your own brother. Trample your sister down in your quest to make living easier. To no other you give consideration. If we have to advance, we must come together. If we're going to succeed, we have to unite. Records can be broken, ropes of gold could be won, but the strains of life will intensify unless we get up and fight. We got to fight on, take a rapid flight, work hard day and night. Is the one way to go if you hope for a future bright. Fight on honestly. Fight for you and me, for the sick and the weak and the helpless, they are the need. Fight on, get up, stop complain. It's a universal pain. From sunrise to sunset, every day is a living strain. Fight on, every family. Take it seriously. It is there we create and devise the path of our journey. Laziness and crime go together. Rougher times in the jail follow after. Signs reveal it's a shortened span, and time wasting is a crime. Our talents we must employ this time. Grudge and selfishness we destroy this time. A future for every boy or girl this time. Faith is to the heart like grapes on a right grapevine. To all those who perceive the struggle, the silver lining of the dark cloud that hovers over our freedom and liberty, then you see it clearly now. Walter Sizulu, Oliver Tambo, Paul Bogle, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela. The struggle continues. Haiti, Bosnia, Serbia, Afghanistan, Palestine, and all the other countries torn apart by the wicked imposters of war and crime. Perseverance and strength goes together.